So I want to dive into that razor sharp kind of attitude you have to have and ask you, what are the separators, right? Everyone has talent when they get there. All right. I mean, it might be varied talent, but that's a prerequisite, right? You're not going to get into that program if you don't have some level of talent. So what are those little things that you look for as coaches and as a program when making cuts or making the hard decisions?
Yeah, I mean, one, it's like how hard are you going to compete and work, right? And so, um, I think that's the number one thing that we tell our kids, like, don't be here and don't come to this program if you're not going to work hard because like we are going to outwork every opponent that we have. So when we're choosing teams, like that's number one thing, like how hard are they competing? How hard are they working? Two, obviously every coach has a little bit of, thing that like they focus in on. Being a smarter player that I was, I really watch for obviously how smart kids are and are they able to make plays out of nothing? Things like that. The one thing that I really don't pay attention to, and I know you asked me what I do pay attention to, but the skill stuff to me, you obviously have to have some skill, but a lot of these kids do. But that's like things that they're naturally going to get better at here because of how much they're on the ice and how
Right.
much opportunities they do have to work on skills. So like if a kid's shot's not that great, it's like I'm not gonna not take that kid because I'm like I'm gonna go and tell that kid, hey, you made the team for so many other reasons, but you got to get your shots got to get better.
I love
And
hearing that
so
though, Brianna.
it's just
That's
like
great.
yeah, I mean like and skills is like taking over the hockey world, which is great, but then now I feel like there's been so much loss in IQ and other
100%.
small details, and so and then the other thing besides work ethic and compete would be like not like you were like what small details do you like look at, and it's like it is the small details. Are you chipping pucks out when you're supposed to chip pucks out? Are you coughing pucks up on the blue line when you're not supposed to be? And are you winning those 50-50s in the corners? And so those small details of stick lifts and boxing out on defense and then creating opportunity in the offensive zone and moving the puck quick. Like I just kind of look for that all around. But a lot of that stems from IQ and, recognizing how kids plays away from the puck rather than with the puck.
I'm gonna pull through a few threads on this. I love where you're going on this. First off, I love that you said what you said about skill because it is far too much the focus. Part of coaching is developing that skill, right? In addition to other things. One of the things we say about creativity on this show all the time, and you're far more an expert on this than I am, but we tell the kids that we coach, listen, as coaches, we have to give you some parameters, but we want you to be creative within those parameters. It's not go A to B and that's it. It's go from A to B and be creative and thoughtful in how you get there because that's the game in a lot of ways. I don't know what's going to happen on the way from A to B, right?
Yeah.
We just know we have to get there. So you talked about competitiveness, right? And I always say there's a little bit of a difference between competition and competitiveness. And when it comes to parents, and this is the question that's forming, when it comes to parents, you can't make your kid competitive. You can't create that. You can cultivate it, right? But there's a thin line between pushing those kids too far, hey, go harder, work harder, and the kid naturally getting to that point. So I'd love to get your advice as a coach right now. We'll tap into you as an athlete in a few minutes. How do parents even begin to approach that? They have a kid, a young girl, let's just say she's 8, loves the game, but she's not showing that maybe competitive fire yet. And a parent might listen to this and say, well, look, Brianna Decker says you got to be competitive, but really that you can't force that on a kid, right? So how do you cultivate competitiveness in a youth athlete?
Yeah, I mean I only have one answer that I really go back to because I grew up with three brothers. And so
There's
like
the answer. No, just kidding.
they got so hey, if families can create that atmosphere, that'd be really helpful.
You're asking a
Um,
lot, Brianna.
yeah, that's probably too specific, but like for me, and I developed natural competitiveness by having brothers, but it's because my brothers were better than me. And so if you're a kid, if you're they're lacking competitiveness, I would say put them in a situation where they're not the best player.
Right.
So that they have to constantly work to get the puck back or constantly work to be better than somebody else. Because you're at some point, like, you know, you're gonna get sick of being beat. as a player, right? Like if I'm constantly going up against somebody who's better than me, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like sick of getting beat, then at some point I'm gonna like become more competitive to try to make sure I'm not getting beat every single battle. And
Right.
so
Right.
that'd be my suggestion, and like that is how you grow as an athlete, is by putting yourself in uncomfortable positions and be surrounded by players who are better than you.